to another episode of Darkskies. Live from Los Angeles. Oh God, welcome to another day. Friday night. And hey, it's Darkskies coming to you live from Los Angeles. And God, got a lot to talk about today. I mean, so much is going on in the world. But first, I'm your host, LC Grace. Thank you. Oh, yes. Well, I mean, God, I gotta start this show. Wow, it's hard to, I'm almost speechless. Just so much has happened, since the last time we talked. I'm working on one show, to talk to you about, the shooting in Baton Rouge and, and how we need to come together and start making changes. And then Minnesota happens. And then, okay, now we're going to, we have to add to the story. And, we're looking at both files and looking at the videos and, it's just incredible. And it's just, I don't know. Now, each situation, is, different, but in the same context. Pretty much the same story. It's been told over and over and over again. Even throughout my lifetime, many run-ins with the police officers, even though I'm not a criminal. You just kind of happen to find yourself in front of their gun. Many times, they've pulled up and had their guns drawn on me. My family members, friends, community members. And I don't know. I tried to, dig deep because I want to try to find out, what's really the problem? What is the disconnect between, law enforcement and the people that they're supposed to be protecting? The people of the community, whether it be black man, white man, Mexican, Indian, doesn't matter. Whatever you are, what seems to be the disconnect? And definitely in my community, as far as Compton, Watts, Inglewood, South Central, but it doesn't just seem to be, just here. It's, up north, we have problems in Northern California. Then we have problems in, Louisiana, Texas. We have problems in, parts of Florida, New York, brutality, Minnesota. It's incredible. And just to try to get a handle of what's going on and just to try to get a feel for, the story. And trust me, it's not hard for me to get a feel for it because, it hits me like close to home. I could feel, exactly what these families are going through. I'm a black man. I'm a father. I'm a father of 2 young black males who will one day, will be black men. And, I have to teach them and prepare them, for going out into the world and, being approached by police officers. Now, I'm not saying, and I never will say that all police officers are bad because, I don't believe in all of nothing, But it's just that small number that's just making the entire police force look horrible. And it's hard to support the police force when things like this continuously happen. And it happens to me, so I know, that it's real. There's no, fake, there's no lying. When these folks are walking around and they saying Black Lives Matter, they with the real, Black lives do matter. It's real talk. I mean, come on. How many people have to die before you have to, before you admit that there is a problem, before something really is done, And having a black president, this surprises me the most. You would think like, oh my God, why, is this happening? Why does this continue to happen? It's happened in the past, it's happening now, And you try to, come up with answers. And one of the things that I was going through in my research, and my research is extensive when it comes to police brutality. And like I said, I've experienced, quite a bit myself. And like I said, I don't want to list the many times I've run into the law and had the law, lean on me for nothing. But, that's a different story for a different time, Now, my whole thing is, my research is telling me that now police officers, have to be strong in order to do their job. Not just mentally, but physically, So a lot of them lift weights. And I'm starting to search and see, a common problem when it comes to, lifting weights and trying to be strong. And trying to be, stronger than the next man who's also lifting weights, because policemen know that criminals lift weights too. And the last thing, a police officer ever want to do is be overpowered. So, the lifting of the weights, is definitely not enough when you're competing against others who lift weights also. So you need that extra, push. Kind of like in the NFL, when you're competing against other NFL players. And, of course, they all are lifting weights and they're freaky athletes as well. So you need something to push you over the edge. Now, I'm thinking that, the problem with steroids, and steroids has been banned in professional sports, but I don't know if it's been banned in the police station. I believe that, the police are using these supplements and these steroids, and they're having adverse effects. Because when they arrive at these scenes, they're so charged up. They're so charged up when they arrive at a scene, especially when they hear about a black man or the word gun or both. They arrive at the scene, just ready, too much, too turned up, instead of getting to the scene and being objective and, trying to understand that every situation is different. They look at every situation the same, life-threatening. I'm coming up to a situation where I could die, so I got to be ready to kill. And that's just not the way to do the job. I don't know if it's not, a lack of training, but I'm telling you, the aggression is coming from somewhere, and it's more than just working the streets. It's more than just being around, threatening situations, because us in South Central are living around threatening situations every day. It's a threatening situation just going to the gas station or going to the store. Or just standing in front of your house in some cases. Some of us live in threatening situations every day, but we're not turned up like that. We're not turned up, like the police be. So I'm thinking there has to be something else. And we know they're not using drugs. So it has to be some type of supplement that they're using in order to make themselves stronger. And it's affecting them when they arrive to the scenes. They feel like they have to do more. We all seen the video, especially the Baton Rouge video where the officers just feel physically, like they just have to, wrestle this guy down. shoot them with a stun gun, then, physically take them to the ground, then shoot them. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, what type of person, when does objective thought kick in? Like, okay, I got the guy, we got him surrounded, he can't go nowhere, his hands are in the air, he can't grab the gun, all of this. I mean, even after you shoot him with the stun gun, even after you get him down on the ground, is the guy fighting? Is he reaching for the gun? I mean, I'm not trying to tell a police officer that you should, take every situation where a person has a gun and, take it lightly. But no, if you already have your gun drawn and you have to drop on the person, then it makes no sense to shoot a person who doesn't have the gun or, or not point. You're not in immediate danger. And then the courts, doesn't really seem to take those things in advisement either, because, a lot of police officers get off when it comes to these type of situations. So then you got black men dying left and right, all over the country. And nothing is actually being done. There's no laws. There's nobody standing up. And then we had earlier today, and I praise, The Game and Snoop Dogg and, some of our brothers and sisters to, march downtown. And God, I wish I could have went earlier. I would have been there with y'all, but I couldn't. I had to work, Life is crazy like that, But we have to stand up. We have to open dialogue. We have to let them know that, hey, we're not animals. We're not creatures. We're not somebody that you can just pull up and shoot and murder. Cold blood. We're humans. We have families. Just like, you look at that person, you don't see that. You don't think that that person have a family, that he has a mother, that he has a father, that he has brothers, sisters, cousins, that he has children. Nobody even think about those things when you're just murdering a black man, It just seems like it's on everybody's list. Everybody feel like that's what I have to do. That's my plan. I got to murder as many black people as possible. It can't be that. It can't be that. And I mean, Obama, wow, would expect something more, during his, presidency, because a lot of this has happened during his, time in the White House, and it's just sad. It's sad. And, I mean, we as a country have gone through so much. We as a black race have been through so much when it comes to this country. I mean, all the racism, the Ku Klux Klan, the burning of the churches, just losing of our votes, the 1/3 of a man, just all of that stuff, And then still, nobody's calling for reparations. There's no, jury, there's no judge, there's nobody saying that, hey, all the stuff that y'all did was wrong. The stuff y'all doing right now is wrong. It's time to step up, and it's 2016, and understand that it's a completely different time. We're not living in the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 1800s, 1900s. Come on. The times have got to change. I mean, we ain't gonna never be able to move forward as a human race until we realize that the human race means one race, that we all are just one part of, one thing. And if we all moving in the same direction, then yeah, it's harmony. But, we lose that harmony. We lose it when we get caught up in differences. I'm black, you white. You're Mexican, you're Indian. You're Muslim, you're Christian. All these things separate us. It was meant to separate us. And all these people that hope to start a race war, don't you think I see what CNN is doing? How they keep saying, oh, the black guy wanted to kill white people. Oh, the black guy wanted to kill cops. Keep saying it over and over. Then they use the black man to do it. It's just incredible. It's incredible when you look at just the things that are being done, and it's right before your eyes, and then people fall into the trap. They want the race war. They want people to fight. But what is a race war? It's just you fighting against yourself. But the moment you start thinking that, you know, it's me or us against them, then that's separation. And that's not unity. That means you're tearing apart, you know, America from the fabric. Because America's not just white America. It's not just black America. Not just Mexican American. It's not just Native American. It's all Americans. All of them together. That's what makes it strong. You know how weak it is when you break it up into segments and pieces and groups and, you know, religions. It's all, you know, just separates everybody. Give you a reason to hate the other person. So now you got police driving around twice as charged up because they're worried about their lives. You know, you got black men driving around twice as charged up because they're worried about being killed now. Twice as, you know, fast. Like, oh, they might kill me because that's how it's been happening. You know, you move quick. I mean, you do anything wrong. I mean, you don't even have to do nothing wrong. I mean, wow. It's like having a math problem, but you don't have all the parts of the equation. You know, you have a bunch of letters, no numbers. You know, it's hard to get the answers when you don't have all the variables. You know, and I'm sitting here looking, and I'm asking for people to be patient. Everybody. But even at the same time, everybody being pushed, prodded, poked. You know, you got the, you know, negative national media grab the story. You can't wait to put race in it. It's always about race. So it's never about reality. You know what the reality is? People are dying, and it's people that are doing the killing. That's what the reality is. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, police officer. Listen, if you're a police officer, you're supposed to be a part of the community. You're supposed to be plucked and taken from the community. You're supposed to be the best of that community that you're representing, that you're serving and protecting. Serving and protecting. You know? Not breaking necks and busting guns. You know? Oh, rowdy cops. You know, then you make good cops look bad. You make the entire police force look bad. And we had these cadets graduating, ready to join the force here, you know, LAPD. You know, they'll go out to their different precincts and they'll represent. But what do they represent? Will they be corrupted by a dirty system? Or would, you know, or will it ever be back like the days where a police officer, you know, can talk to a child? Or a police officer can just hang out and know everybody and everybody know him. You know, instead of having these strangers come through. You don't know who these people are. They have no feelings for your community. They look at you like you're not even human. You have to change that. You have to have more humanity. A more humane police force. That's what we need. So, like I said, open dialogue. Need to talk more. Need to talk more. And like I said, I applaud Snoop Dogg and the game. And, you know, the game did put this together. Make no mistake. You know, and we all are definitely, you know, just in agreement that, you know, if something needs to be done. So, you know, congratulations, gang. Snoop. Everybody just stand up. Protested peacefully. You know, let your voices be heard, let your presence be felt, and, you know, didn't go crazy. So let's keep up and, you know, do a little bit more of that to show them that we can talk. We'll take a quick little break and we'll come back because I still want to talk about what happened in Dallas. You're listening to Darkskies, coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. listening to Darkskies Podcast. I'm coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And we are just learning so much. We're just learning hard lessons, and the situation, just, saddens me, all the members of Dark Skies, my family, just everybody who I've talked to, the people in the community, because I talk to people all the time because I like to know, what their mind state is when it comes to, situations, especially situations like this. And it's just crazy. I mean, now, the situation that happened in Baton Rouge, CD, man, I mean, it's just hard to watch. I mean, just looking at the video, just raises so many questions. Why? And, what was, going through, the officers said, at the moment, And also, you look at the same situation, in Minnesota, and you try to, visualize, what the officer could have possibly been thinking. I mean, it's just crazy. And then, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what happened in Dallas, and just to see that what direction all of this is going, and you just don't want the protest to turn violent, and you just don't want you don't want the bad guys to get what they want, and that's just for everybody to be separate. You want to try to, pick up the pieces. Now, what happened in Dallas is just horrific. I mean, you see police officers, being shot, and, ambush style attack, and, sniper attacks, and, you got the gunman being cornered and being eventually killed. And I didn't use nobody's name during the show because I'm pretty sure, y'all know the names of the victims, and you even know the names of the 5 slain officers. Their names were released and pictures all over CNN. So it's like, I don't want to add to that. Because the families are going through so much, with the media there, just probably 24/7, asking questions, and how do you feel? And I feel horrible. And I don't care what side of you're on. If you're one of the family members of the slain officers, or if you're one of the family members of the young men who were, tragically killed. I mean, so, there's no winners. There's no winners. There's only losers when it comes to, situations like this. So, yeah, we know the shooter in Dallas. Yeah, he was a military veteran. And if I'm not mistaken, he said he served in Afghanistan. Pissed off. Looking at the videos, the same videos that, we had been watching, just pushed him over the edge and had him out there, like he was back in Afghanistan, and targeting, police officers. But you hear the way I say it, the way the media is portraying it. Oh, he's a white man killing black man, black man that just want to kill white men. They just kept saying it and kept saying it. driving it into our heads like a nail. A black man that want to kill a white man. And then you got Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Everybody want to, weigh in. Donald Trump was yelling for law and order. That's what we're getting. A whole bunch of law and order. Too much of it. So, my prayers and all of our prayers go out to, just all the families of everybody who's lost. And, to the officers who are recovering, 7 of them was injured as well. My prayers go out to everybody. And let's just hope that we can start to pick up the pieces and, we need to find strong leadership. So hopefully, we can get more than just the rappers and try to get some people out there to try to stand out front, ask questions, open dialogue, and, be the voice of the community. So we're going to try to do our part, and hopefully, we'll get more and more people to step up. Not just on the black side, but the white side. Let's stand together. Police officers, let's get out there in the community and do something. Make yourself be felt. Let people know that you really do care, because they think that you don't. You have to prove that you do. You have to earn the trust of the community. Remember that you're serving and protecting them. That's your job. So let's see what happens from here. I sure hope we can pick up the pieces and move forward. But for now, I'm your host, Darkskies. You're listening to Darkskies. Just stay strong and you'll last long. And, till we meet again. Thanks again for listening. Once again, prayers go out to all the families. All right, y'all. I'm out.